Hello everybody, welcome to Tyman on Tap. My name is Joe Tyman. I'm your host again. If you haven't realized that I'm your host by now, and I've been on since like 2010. So we have a great guest tonight. We have the Hollister Thompson Band. Thompson Band. Sorry about that, guys. But they're a rock band, and we're going to talk to them about their influences, about their current album, what they're going to do next, and all that cool stuff. But first things first, we're shooting on the 21st today. Usually we shoot on Tuesday. This week we're doing it on a Monday. We're going to go live. Or you guys are probably watching this either on Thursday or Friday, or you're catching the rerun sometime later than that. We have a jam-packed, fun-filled episode with I think this might be the most guests we've had in the studio. I think the most we had before was 3 people. So it's exciting. We'll see how this works. Hopefully we can hear everybody. It's gonna be good. You're going to be able to hear their song, Traffic Jam, tonight. Alright, and make sure that you follow us on the social medias. Twitter. We have some Twitter handles. Do we have it on screen? No. Tyman on Tap Show, that's our Twitter. Hashtag Tyman on Tap, WPAA, hashtag that. Let's get it trending. We're on Facebook, Tyman on Tap. We're also on Google+, but you're not on Google+, so it doesn't really matter. Twitter, Tyman on Tap Show. So, yeah, check us out. YouTube, Tyman on Tap. Make sure you go to the YouTube channel. We got the whole entire season. I think we have all of last season. Do we have all of last season on it? We have all this season, all of last season. So if you have any past episodes that you want to see, you can do that. And just follow us and send us more requests for great guests. If you are watching this and you want to get on the show, you can email contact.tymanontap@gmail.com. So, Alan, we need a status update. Everyone wants to know when we're doing Alan on the Streets. Okay, he's going to shoot that next week, folks. So everybody next week will be able to see Alan on the Street. He's very excited about Alan on the Street. He is like, his microphone is not working in back, but he's like jumping for joy. I wish you could see him right now. It's going to be great. So, Alan, and I tried to do a segment for tonight's show. I ran a 5K on Saturday. Less than a half hour. I'm pretty impressed with myself. But I was using GoPro to film it. Turns out it was a color run. The second I got hit in the face, you can't see anything. So there's about 30 seconds of me running a 5K and then a half hour of just like a lob of paint on top of it. So I don't think that footage is going to make it. So everybody's going to take my word that I ran a 9-minute mile. Okay, so let's take a break and let's come back with our guest, the Hollister Thompson Band. Okay, so we're here with the Hollister Thompson Band, which I keep struggling with the name. I apologize. So why don't you guys introduce yourselves?
How you doing? I'm JJ.
Lisa?
Pete.
Tex.
So let's start off first. How did you guys meet each other?
Well, the drummer and I were in a band prior to this one.
Okay.
We played together for about 5 years.
Okay.
This band, we're in our 13th year together.
Wow.
So our old band sort of knew Lisa's old band. So when things were reshuffling around, breaking up, everybody's looking for what to do, we hooked up with Lisa. And then, advertised, right, to get JJ. And that was it, and it's been the same lineup now for 13 years.
So you guys have lasted longer than the Beatles.
Yes. Yes.
Not really. A lot of those bands are still going, so.
We've lasted longer than some marriages.
Yes.
They say about
Some
50% end divorce, so I mean, probably most marriages, right? So, how long have you guys been, as individuals, been playing music? Has this been like a lifelong journey?
Yeah, for me, I started real young. I was in the drum and bugle corps, junior circuit, and then when I got into high school, I got my first guitar at around 13, and that's been it since then.
Yeah, I was about probably 13 or 14. And I got my first guitar, and I've been playing ever since.
Yeah.
Yeah. I tried to teach myself. I did teach myself some stuff. The family had one of those big old Wurlitzer organs. So I learned a bunch of chords on that because I was dying to play something. And painted some houses with my brother and bought my first bass. And I've been playing for, down boy, 40 years on that, and other things.
Okay.
But he has an interesting story.
I used to watch the Partridge Family, and I was convinced I could play the drums just as good as the kid on their cut.
You probably could. 'Cause
Or
they-
the tambourine.
Better, since he didn't play.
$30 when I was 14 years old, bought my first drum kit, taught myself to play.
That's awesome. So you mentioned you had an organ. So were you ever in a Baroque pop band ever as a kid?
Well, yeah. By the time I did that, though, it was playing bass.
Okay.
I played bass, I played guitar, and I also played a bunch of classical stuff. But yeah, for keyboards, no. No, but it was good for learning chords and stuff.
Like in the late '60s, right, or the mid '60s, like the organ was like popular, like.
Yeah, they'd come
everybody
around
was-
and sell these things, and everybody had it in their house. These big old tube keyboard with the pedals, Wurlitzer,
Yeah.
weighed 1 billion pounds. Yeah.
So when was the last time you played the organ?
I have a keyboard at home that I just have set to piano mode,
Okay,
so I play.
that's cool. So so you're a traditional 4-piece rock band, right? 2 guitars, a bass, and a drum.
Yep.
So that's pretty standard. So how would you guys define your sound?
No,
We're like modern day classic rock.
I would call us more of a rock pop country band.
Okay.
You know, that seems to be the genre from everybody that's in the band. We all have different, backgrounds. So when we wrote the album, a lot of that came out in it. You know, country background, blues influence. So I would basically call us that.
Okay. So what are your influences, like as individuals? Like what are you guys all bringing to the punch?
I was like Pretenders, Concrete Blonde, like a lot of the older side. I like Amy Mann right now,
Okay.
but I was into like all the rock, Janis Joplin and all that good.
Works out having a female in front of the band, too. You're that much more versatile, because, me singing Shania Twain just wouldn't look real pretty.
We all
No,
cover a lot
no.
of different genres, so it's like hard. Like I started, you start as a guitarist, you start with your first scales and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But then you just go when you evolve, and I went on to heavy metal and progressive rock. And
Yeah.
Now I'm back to the blues basically, and that in that genre.
So what blues and heavy metal bands were you listening to that kind of?
Well, for blues, I'm a big T-Bone Walker fan.
Okay.
You know, he was the king next to Chuck Berry in my eyes.
Yeah.
I'm a big Chuck Berry disciple. Progressive rock, metal. I was into the early '70s, late '70s, Black Sabbath,
Yeah.
Rush, stuff like that. The really early stuff.
So you said you're a Rush fan. So have you tried to, in your songwriting, try to incorporate some of the complexity they incorporate in their songwriting?
Yes, in certain solos, I put some of his type of scales in there.
Yeah.
On one of them, basically.
Those for 3-piece band, they have a lot of sound
Yeah.
coming out of them.
And it's basically it's rock.
Yeah.
It's done with a twist on it.
Yeah. Most popular band from Canada, probably.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So what's your influences?
Well, going way back, man, it was the Beatles,
Yeah.
and then all the classic rock guys. Beatles.
So you're a McCartney person? Is that why you play bass?
Not really. Not really. I actually did some lead guitar for a while,
Yeah.
but I guess I tend to gravitate toward lower notes.
Yeah.
So I picked up the bass, and like I played trombone for a while in a pops orchestra, viola in orchestra, so I tend to go to the lower sound. So it was bass. But all the classic guys, and then going into the '70s, a lot of the piano guys, Elton John, Billy Joel,
Yeah.
because they were doing this other stuff. But my side influences was big band. Glenn Miller, I'm a
Yeah.
big Glenn Miller fan, and then classical music. I remember hearing the Beethoven's Egmont Overture, and it's just this powerhouse of stuff. It's like rock, but back then, and
So what were you what
All
do you listen to in
mixed
your
up.
car then? Do you just have random music or?
in the car.
Yeah.
I tend to go in phases.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'll stick with somebody for a long time, and then I'll be like, all right, and then I'll throw somebody else in there and just revisit everything.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So you mentioned Shania Twain, so I kind of hit at something. You're a country fan, obviously?
Yeah, I kind of bring a little bit of that.
Twang.
Yeah, I kind of keep the three guys in front
Yeah.
in check because they kind of follow me. And I think when I play, I just can't play like any of the guys that I looked up to as a kid.
Yeah.
I'm self-taught,
Yeah.
and I can emulate some of it, and but I still kind of bring a little bit of that country attitude and kind of swing things a little bit. And
It's the long hair.
yeah,
Keeps our necks red.
it's a Skinner thing.
He also sings a lot too. So
He does a mean giant cat.
yeah.
So you sing and play drums at the same time?
Yes.
We all sing. We all
Yeah.
take turns singing. When we first started, Lisa was really the lead singer. We did backups and really, but then as the years went by, we branched out. We all do leads and we all do backups, and
It's very Beatles-esque.
it expanded a lot of.
Yeah, we try to do
A
as
lot
much
of
as
stuff.
we can.
Yeah.
And we'll bring in the
Harmony-wise.
fiddle sometimes. We do a set where he plays the fiddle. I'll play the bass, or we'll swap a couple instruments around.
So let's talk about that about instrument swapping. So obviously you have your 4 instruments, but do you guys try to bring in other instruments at times? 'Cause I know obviously if you guys are performing for people live, you're kind of limited. But recording, do you guys like to play
Well,
around?
Pete brings in the fiddle. We just started recently. I started bringing in the harp. So
Yep. Joe could play a 6 or 12 string.
yeah,
We've
Joe
done-
plays the 12 string.
And we do it live too.
So, and we do it live. So
Yeah.
you know, if it's on the album, we try to play it like it is on the album.
So do you do any sampling or anything like that when you perform live, or is it all like if you
Nope.
can't?
Nope.
So
It's all live. It's all us.
All live.
Yep.
that's cool. That's cool.
Yep.
Anything that we didn't want to overproduce anything on our album when we recorded it because we didn't want to not be able
Yeah.
to reproduce it live.
Yeah.
We were so disappointed at growing up as kids going to a concert and hoping to see the band you wanted to see, and they didn't sound like the record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's very disappointing when you're a musician. You want to hear that.
Well, you get some guys like Jeff Lynne, who's just like, all they do is produce. They would prefer to produce music than play music, and like it's kind of hard to go do that live. So that's why a lot of those guys, it's like something like Jeff Lynne never performs live just because he can't replicate his sound.
Studio magic.
Yeah.
Mm.
But that's cool. So how many albums do you guys have out right now?
Right
Just
now, just the one.
Okay.
We're working on another one.
Okay. So we're back from that awesome PSA break where Alan did some awesome things in the background to make it more awesomer. All right. So we're talking about your album. So you have, as you can see, I physically can see your CDs. So I mean, I know it's kind of. I'm not trying to be rude here. I just interview a lot of younger bands, and a lot of younger bands, because they've grown up with technology, it's like second nature to them. You guys, as a band, has been around for 13 years. Before like Twitter and Facebook. How soon did you guys grasp to social media to promote your albums, to get your music out there? Like, how was that an adjustment for you, or did you guys just naturally do it?
Well, we had a website from day one. So basically, once we were able to get the website up and going, and Joe was in charge of that, and he took care of a lot of the website. Once the social media bus came, we just jumped right on board like everybody else.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all kind of do part of it. Like he said, Tex does the website, JJ does the Facebook stuff.
He handles Twitter.
We're on Gigmasters. I do the Gigmasters stuff, and
Lisa sits in the middle.
Lisa sits in the middle. Lisa gets on the phone.
I make them look good.
Yes,
We'll let
makes
her
us-
take care
does.
of the MySpace
Yes, he does.
page.
The MySpace.
MySpace. And
Yeah, I forgot about that. MySpace. Yeah, I forgot about that one.
You still have a
we try to
MySpace page
all-
floating out there somewhere.
I
we
think
try
we
to
still have
all
one,
promote
right?
the stuff.
We don't update it, but it's still there somewhere.
No, it's got to be real old by now.
Yeah, but no, we embraced it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we embraced it. So
Started out
actually, it's
with
a pretty
email
good
lists,
thing.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
we-
Much.
Yeah, we have email
We
lists.
started
Before
out
that,
doing the lists, taking the lists, and you emailed
Yeah,
everybody.
yeah,
and
sign
then
up
before
lists.
Facebook.
before that, we actually had mailing lists.
So,
Yeah.
have you noticed that with the guest I had last week said, she disliked social media and the easy access to technology because it just made the competition so tough, and she said that if she was like a club singer in the 70s, it would be easier for her to get noticed. because the way she sings than today with everybody who wants to be a musician is just out there promoting their stuff. How do you guys feel about that? Do you feel it's easier for you guys or more difficult?
There's a lot of competition because
Yeah.
it's so easy for everyone to get their stuff out there.
Yeah.
It's a mix.
We believe in paying your dues. You got to go out there and you got to play for the people. The days of cutting an album, having the record company produce it and promote it, and getting royalties are over.
Yeah.
You got to go out there and you got to play for the people. I mean, the social media gets it out there, but you still have to go out and perform.
So, you guys have one album now, and you're working on your second one. So, and you guys have been around for 13 years. What have you guys played for the majority of your 13 years? Has it been your own original material, or have you done a lot of covers? Like how?
Everything.
Okay.
We
Out
play
live when we're hired for parties, stuff like that. It's cover stuff. We'll throw in some of our own.
Yeah.
But yeah, for the average bread and butter working band stuff,
We're
it's
working band.
cover tunes. We're a working band.
So
We're
is
out there all
this
the time.
your guys' primary source of income? Is this are you guys full-time
No,
musicians?
no.
No.
We wish.
We've got day jobs.
Yeah, we wish.
That would be nice, but yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
good extra.
But you know what? We love it so much. That's why we've been doing it so long. And it really is part of us. That's
Yeah.
what we're all about.
Yeah, it's not the money, it's the enjoyment of going out and
Yeah.
Writing songs, making
Although
videos.
It is a second job.
We have
you
another
know.
video coming out in September.
Yep.
So do you guys shoot and edit your own videos, or do you guys hire
Oh
somebody?
no,
to
we
No,
sub that out.
we have a pro. We
Yeah.
go to a studio.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
we have our own Alan.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, hopefully he is more subtle about letting you know your microphones aren't working. So I heard you guys do some non-profit work. Do you want to mention that, or do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, we do for a couple of different nonprofits. I have us do the Great Strides Walk for cystic fibrosis in Madison. Joe has
We
us-
got involved with the American Cancer Society and their Kick It rally that used to, I forgot where it started, but it always ended
Used to
up
start in
Shelton.
Danbury.
Marcus
Danbury.
Deary in
Marcus Deary.
Danbury. It was a big motorcycle ride, 800
Yeah.
motorcycles
We played for them
cancer.
for 7 or 8 years.
Unfortunately, the event itself has
Gone away.
seemed to go south, but
The cystic fibrosis rally, that walk that we did, raised like $86,000.
That's really cool.
Yeah, so that
Yeah.
was really good.
Yeah.
We also do the Sandy Hook Lobster Festival, which is a nonprofit.
fundraiser for the
The
local
volunteer.
volunteer fire department in Sandy Hook.
Yep.
So we've done
A lot
them
of
in the
stuff,
past.
Whatever comes along,
Yeah.
usually if it's a good cause, we just go.
If they ask and it's a good cause, we're more than happy to do it.
Yep.
So why do you think that? Because the last few guys I've had have done a lot of nonprofit stuff, especially the more established one. Why do you think that musicians are always so willing? I mean, there's some are kind of jerks, but I mean, why are musicians typically willing to get involved with charity and kind of give back?
That's a good question. Some people are just like that. I know we're like that.
You
We
want to
have a
give.
talent we can give that's not.
You know.
If you can't afford to give cash and money, we can at least
Our time.
give our time and let them make some
Yeah.
And
money
plus,
from it.
a lot of us have been touched by people who have, CF, who have cancer. So as soon as we hear that, right away, we want to help.
So when you find a charity, does the charity, is it better for you to, when you're, I guess because you guys said you'll help anybody out, but are you more drawn to a charity that has something that, like if you can, like the cancer, everybody's had somebody that's had a battle with cancer in their life. So when you hear a charity that has something that helps somebody that you knew struggle with something, does that make it you more willing to help them out, or?
No, not necessarily. No,
Okay.
as long as it's a good cause.
Yeah, it's just
You
that,
know.
everybody's touched nowadays by something.
Yeah.
And the social media enlightens all that.
Yeah.
Joe
know.
here had a friend who was in a bad accident. Remember, we
Yeah.
did. They were running some for his medical bills, just
Oh,
because
I forgot
anyone
about
can
that
be in
one.
any kind of spot.
Right, he had
in
no
1 second.
insurance, so we helped,
That's where I fell down the stairs. fell out of the
Fundraiser.
club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but,
Did you just do a fundraiser for you after you fell down the stairs?
No.
No. We just stepped over.
you'd have to plan
Yeah,
a
he stepped
fundraiser.
over me, kept going.
Alright, so
But yeah.
I want to talk about live performances for a little bit. So, first thing I'd like to ask my guests, best venue you guys have ever played at?
Best venue.
Best venue.
Oh.
I would have to say my favorite was playing for the beer festivals.
Oh, the Lobster Fest.
I like the beer festivals because everybody's having a really good time. There's
There's
144 different types of beer.
It's nice to have
And
a
you know,
professional
it's
sound
in a
Yeah.
what's that called, the shell for the
Band shell?
The band shell.
That's
So
true. It was band shell, and they have
It's really nice.
outside companies run the
Yeah.
sound, so we don't have to worry about
So
that.
that's one of my favorite ones.
Yeah.
That's cool. So what's the, like, without, you don't have to mention it by name, but can you describe the worst experience you guys had playing live?
That's hard.
We'll let Joe handle that one.
You probably got us
my
the gig.
vote is for that place in.
Waterbury?
Monroe.
No, I'm thinking Waterbury, the place where there was no toilet paper, there was no dividers in the ladies' room stalls.
There were no people.
We played for half an hour and we're like, can we just go home now? You don't even have to
Oh,
pay us.
with the stuff going on in the parking lot and
The people
everything?
were
Yeah.
coming into the kitchen and leaving, and no food was
When
going
we
out.
first started out, we were playing a lot of, that's how it goes. You play a lot of small places.
You don't know what they're like.
You don't know
till
what
you
it's
get there.
like, but you got to start somewhere.
Kind of reminds me of a story. So my cousins did a band in Boston, and they traveled down to New York City and played in the Lower East Side. And they went there, and it was a place with all these junkies were coming in and out, and like they left their stuff with everybody else's stuff. And the manager of the bar went up to them and was like, "You can't leave your stuff by itself. It'll walk out of here." They're like, "Okay." So one of them had to stand guard over their equipment when they weren't playing, while they're all mingling or doing whatever they had to do. And somebody had to so if anybody wanted to go get a beer, they had to swap spots with somebody to make sure they washed their equipment.
Wow.
And then they got done performing. The band got paid a total of $20 for their efforts.
You got to watch those gigs where you play for the door.
The doorman seems to have lots of friends
Yeah.
that don't have to pay the cover.
That's Lisa's favorite gig.
That was
I won't
Stanford,
say
right?
it.
Stanford. Yeah.
So how many? How often are you guys playing live? Do you try to do it every weekend, or do you just? I know you have lives other than playing music, since you have jobs and stuff like
This
that.
year we got 30 shows.
Okay, so it's every other week basically. You're
Well,
performing.
kind of whenever we're booked. We don't really play in the dead of winter. From about the middle
Usually,
of December
yeah.
till usually the middle of March or so.
We take the winter and we sort of write, get things
We
back,
try to write,
focused.
work up new material, stuff like that, because the weather's always bad.
I lose
Yeah.
my voice.
Yes, and we don't like
People
to drive
get
around
sick,
late
you
at
know.
night like that in the bad weather. And we focus more on the studio, more on the writing, more on the new material, all between the holidays and St. Patrick's Day, which is one of our holidays.
You guys are a big fan of St. Patrick's Day?
I would say so.
You
I
guys like
would
the
say
Dropkick
so.
Murphys? Do you have like a big St. Patrick's Day concert you guys do?
Yeah, at my house.
We put on a funny hat, get out the guitars.
Yeah, we do some great big C's, and we do a lot of different Irish stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah, we like it.
That's cool.
And that's basically our opening day. From that point on, we start gigging.
So, so basically, for that time, it's like nonstop for that block of time. You're doing something every weekend. It sounds like.
Yeah,
Pretty much, pretty busy.
Yeah.
We did,
At least 2 weekends a month.
I would say this
Sometimes
year we got a lot more since we've joined
well, that
Gig
one
Masters.
week, what? We had 5
we're
in
getting a
7
lot.
days.
Yeah.
2 in one
Wow.
day.
2 in one
Two
day.
in one day. We got
How'd
some
you
double
guys
headers.
do that?
It's not easy.
It's not easy, but we
Not
do
easy.
it. We
works
have
out.
meetings on this, and we decide whether we're going to do it or whether we're not going to do it because it's too much.
There's caffeine involved.
Yes. Yes.
You mentioned
Espresso.
You mentioned Gig Masters, which for people that don't know, it's a Connecticut-based company that they have a website that people can find stuff for their weddings and whatnot and their parties. And you can be a band, you can post your stuff out there, you cater or whatever. So let's talk about that. So do you do a lot of private parties then? Do you do a lot of
Yeah.
weddings?
Yeah. Some wedding. Well, whoever hires us.
Yeah.
It's been some weddings. It's been a lot of, special birthdays, 40th or 50th.
Yeah.
Other events. Yeah.
We've done school functions through that.
We did that school thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I mean, we play almost any type of function.
Okay.
If you want a good rock and roll band, we're your band.
Yeah.
We're not a typical wedding band, and we
No.
tell people that. You're not going to do the Macarena and the electric slide when we play.
But we have plenty of audio samples for them to hear us, so
Yeah.
they know what they're getting.
Yeah.
So has there ever been any interesting interactions because of using Gigmaster? Have you had people that like booked you and you're just like, why are you booking us type of thing, or anything like that, or has it been pretty good?
It's been pretty good.
It's been pretty good. I'll see some strange things come through once in a while, and you have to think that they're just, shooting this out to kind of anybody in a certain range,
Yeah.
Can you
because
play
they'll
4
be
hours with
asking,
Kenny Chesney?
yeah, oh, that's right.
Kenny
Somebody
Chesney
wanted,
doesn't play 4 hours.
somebody essentially wanted a Kenny Chesney tribute band.
Yeah.
for 4 hours, but they didn't call it that, and that's not the bands that the bid went out to. They kind of went out to any rock country band. So I was like, I don't think we're your band today.
We'd
you
have to
know.
With
learn.
Gig Masters, we played campgrounds, we played, Leominster Sweet 16s. We've gotten all different types of gigs from them.
All kinds of things, yeah.
We met some really nice people.
Yes, we have.
And they've showed up at some of our bar gigs.
Give us excellent
it's
reviews.
nice to get out, and there's nothing better than
We have a
really
5-star
good
rating
audience
with
reaction.
Gig Masters, by the way.
Yeah.
That's great.
It's great when they hire you because they picked you. They didn't walk into a bar and you happened to be the band that night.
The
So
audience
it's
is
really
already
good.
there.
It's really good.
You don't have to.
Yeah, that's
We
the
love
best
those
part
events,
about it.
yeah.
That's cool. So, let's talk about some bars. So you guys play bars in the area? Like, so is this... I gotta be careful here because I kind of get in trouble
we can't,
sometimes.
we can't name places.
Yeah, no, we play locally.
We've been-
You can go to our website, HollisterThompsonBand.com, or our Facebook page, Hollister Thompson, and it has our schedule there, and we play
all over.
Yeah.
All over.
Connecticut.
So, you mentioned Leominster. Is that Leominster, Mass?
Yeah.
So I went to school in Ridge, New Hampshire, which is about 20 minutes. Leominster's over here. It'd be like over here somewhere. So how did you find people in Leominster? Was it Gig Masters or?
Yeah.
Gig Masters.
They found
Yeah.
us.
Sweet 16, he wanted a good band for his daughter,
Yeah.
and it turned out to be one of our best gigs.
Yeah. And we've done block parties. There was a
Yep.
block party in Newington every year for what, 6 or 7 years?
Yep.
Until we played during that hurricane the one
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
It was a hurricane, and they had tarped all kinds of stuff. It was really good because there was no leaks. And we played until the lightning got so bad for about 20 minutes that we just shut down and like, all right, we love playing, but we're not going to die up
those
here.
3 lightning rods that you guys sing into.
Yeah.
We've
Yeah.
done that in right
Have
now.
you guys seen this? Is in the mid to late 90s, maybe the mid 90s. MTV had their thing where they went on spring break, and they had I think there was a guy lead singer from Bush. Like he was there with everybody that was on spring break, and it was like lightning out, and so the band and everybody went home. And it was just him playing his guitar, singing his songs to the band with the crowd, like a bunch of drunk college kids.
While it was lightning?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Glad I missed that one.
Yeah.
We've been caught in the pouring rain though.
Yeah, we got
Pouring
rain on
a
it,
couple times.
and
Yep.
the lightning was going. We play down in South Norwalk for the fireworks almost every year,
That's cool.
and that tends
It
to be.
rains on us.
That
tends to
poured
be,
on us that one time, and people were running up to help us
Yeah, and they were
cover our
grabbing our
stuff.
gear and
and
pushing it back underneath the eaves. That was very nice.
You're in the middle
Yeah.
of the song usually.
Yeah.
right in the middle of
just-
the song, and it's like, oh, thanks.
Funny. So, what do you do when it rains? You just continue to perform till the song's over, or
Yeah, basically.
Depends on how bad
Well,
it is.
it depends how bad it is,
Yeah.
obviously. But if we know we're going to be subject to possible rain, we bring some tarps, and
yeah.
we try to be prepared as best as we can. It's all electronic, equipment. So
Yeah.
what are you going to do?
Yeah.
So do you play indoor, or sorry, I know you play indoors. 'Cause you mentioned you played at bars, but do you prefer playing indoors or outdoors?
I like outdoors better.
Yeah.
You don't have to
sound is
worry
better.
about your sound
Yeah.
bouncing off walls or,
Yeah, I like outdoor gigs too.
any kind of odd, bad
The music
acoustics.
has room and it breathes.
Yeah. It has
you know,
room to go.
Doesn't have to bounce back in your and fall, cause feedback. And
We played that one place, I think it was Monroe, where they had us in the corner, surrounded by glass block walls. He almost went deaf because his drum's sound was just bouncing back on him. They couldn't hear us like over there. We were going deaf because all this glass, and it was just horrible. It was horrible.
Joe's been through some tough times. We just
Yes.
one year we played a big Mason picnic, and
Oh, the sun
he
came.
wasn't in the sun when we started, but by the time we got halfway through the set, he was in the sun, and he was.
He
crying.
almost had heat stroke. He almost
Yeah,
had
he
heat
was-
stroke.
yeah.
We had to stop for a while, and he's drinking
Yeah.
water, and he's like, oh.
It was hot.
Yeah, and I'm not
Bad.
used to drinking water, so
That's
you,
right.
you knew
Without
that
beer
I
in
was
it.
hot.
Well, the drummers, they sweat anyways the most,
Yeah.
right? Because you're swinging your arms around like crazy for a
Oh
couple
yeah.
hours.
Oh yeah.
I try.
It's
we-
good cardio, right? So do you like more intimate settings or do you like bigger settings? Like if you could play like so you guys like outdoors. So would you rather play a small amphitheater or a huge arena? Obviously, the gate at the huge arena would be much larger than the gate at the amphitheater, but I mean, ideally.
The amphitheater, like I said, like dress. Library Park in Waterbury. That's a great venue.
Yeah.
It really is.
It's always a big crowd's always good.
Yeah.
That
yeah,
country fair was a nice stage, though.
Yeah, the country
That was
fair.
a nice
What was
stage.
that? That was the
Ledyard.
Ledger.
I like being able to talk to the people. You know, you don't want to be separated, you know, by
Too much.
you're up here and everybody else, you know, is down someplace else, and then you go backstage. You know, these people came, you know, to see you.
Yeah.
And I know, you know, from when I was a kid, you know, I'd want somebody to come out and shake a hand, or, you know, or even if it's a, you know, chance to, you know, you get the one little kid that you always see them, they're staring up at you, and you know he's going to go home and pick up a broom or beg his parents for a guitar, you know, and it'll probably go away in 3 days, but sometimes it doesn't. I was that kid one day.
Yeah.
That's how we are. We're all different, you know. It's amazing. That's what makes us different. That's why we get, you know, we're always working. We have a lot of people wanting us because of, I think, we're all so different.
That's cool.
Play
All
a
right.
lot of different stuff.
So we're gonna play their song "Traffic Jam." We're gonna come back. We're gonna talk to them about the song. I got a couple more questions, and we're gonna go home for the evening. So let's go play that music.
Sitting on a highway, nothing's going my way, nothing's moving, nothing's rolling, isn't it? I'm fighting now, I'm stuck in traffic now. I know I had it, and now we're late already, and I'm jumping like a rabbit, looking at my watch and trying to get that you. And it's too late, too late, too late, too late. Inching my way up and heading for the breakout cars. I'm pulling left and right, and now I got a slow down car. In front of me is reading what is from my favorite card. I'm gonna kill someone and 5 minutes later. All I wanna do is get out of this mess. It's too late, too late, too late, too late. Coming to the bridge, I wish that I could drive off. But push a car in front of me that's killing me with exhaust. Got 20 miles of gas and I don't know if I can make it. God, you gotta help me. I don't think that I can take it. All I wanna do is get out of this mess. It's too late, too late, too late, too late. Finally getting going, all my veins are showing. I'm heading off the exit ramp and all the lights are glowing. Rolling to the city, doing over 50. Nobody can stop me now, and now I'm sitting pretty. Get to your house, the car is gone and all the lights are out. And it's too late, too late, too late, too late.
And that was Traffic Jam. So tell us a little bit about that song. Why did you decide to use that song as to make a video with?
I don't know. It had a lot of energy. It was new.
Yeah.
It wasn't on this last album. It's going to be on the next one.
Okay, so this is kind of you hear it first type of stuff, and
Yep.
that's cool.
Yep.
So this next album coming, you said you're making another music video. So are you gonna try to do more music videos with your songs now, or?
You know, we got more, you know, we reached more people with that video than our albums did, you know, so it seems to be the way. So we're going to release a few off the albums to give people a taste and let them know what to expect.
That's cool. So, so who wrote the song? Was it a group effort, or?
I did.
Okay.
Everyone did their own parts.
Usually that's how it goes. Somebody comes up with the song, and everybody takes their part and
Yeah,
goes with it.
pretty
Lisa,
much let everyone do what they
you know,
think.
Will fit.
Yeah.
Sounds
You know,
good.
sounds
you know, Lisa says, I hear this, and I try to do something, and and we try to,
That's
kind of contribute as much as we can individually.
Yep.
That's cool. You can definitely see a lot of you guys like personality coming out in that video. Like,
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's us live.
yeah. Seems like a lot of high energy. So, being from the local scene, do you know a lot of the local bands around here? Like, have you made friendships or partnerships with other local people?
Oh yeah, yeah. We know a lot of different bands. Joe's has friends in bands. We all have friends in bands.
Yeah.
It's like the musician thing. I a lot of solo blues artists that I grew up with are all established now. I know all those guys. I don't know if I can mention their names and stuff like that.
We don't get a chance to go see them anymore because
Yeah,
we're working.
Yeah.
like Paul Gabriel's one of my big time favorites.
Yeah.
He's a blues guy who's just really getting his recognition. Joe's band, Midnight Rodeo, that he's friends with. There's lots of them. Forgotten by Friday, we were on a bill with them.
We see them in the rotation.
Yeah, Forgotten by Friday we were on a bill with them down in Milford, but it got canceled. So there's a lot of bands out there that know us and we know them, and we're friends on the Facebook pages and stuff like that.
That's cool. I heard you guys did some work on a movie once.
Yeah, I got a small part in an upcoming movie called Desolation Angels.
Okay.
Starring Neil Smith of Alice Cooper fame,
Okay.
and also Alex Zawak of Blue Bloods. And there's talk of possibly one of our cuts making the soundtrack.
That's really awesome.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's an independent film, so it's a lot of fun to do. I never did that before, so I'm enjoying it, a lot, and it's pretty cool.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, famous or not famous, living or dead, which artist or producer would you want to work with on your next album?
Wow, I got to go with George Martin.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be something.
I just can't see anybody else.
No Phil Spector fans?
I don't think he's
A little.
available.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Wall of Sound never really did nothing
Now it's a
for
wall
me.
It's a
of-
different wall now.
It's a different wall now.
But
I'd work with Brian Wilson any day.
But
Yeah, they would
George,
too.
a lot of people
That'd
don't
be
realize
fun.
George Martin had a lot to do with the change of pop music, and also with the Beatles, obviously. But he really did produce some phenomenal songs that are still alive and well today.
Oh yeah.
That's my
Yeah,
producer.
that would be good.
Yeah.
And he did some studio stuff, but yeah, like Phil Spector was
Bob Ezrin.
so produced.
Bob Ezrin also is another good producer. And Roy Thomas Baker, other ones. I can start going on and on about them.
Yeah.
Rick Rubin fans at all, or no?
Oh yeah,
Rick
yeah, I
Rubin.
like Rick. Yeah, I love what he did with Johnny Cash at the end there. That was
Yeah.
phenomenal.
You got a
Phenomenal.
lot of material out of him. A lot
Yeah,
of
yeah,
material.
he's done some really good work. He did good work with the Chili Peppers. I like what he did with them.
Yeah.
That was really good.
Pretty good for a guy who decided in his college dorm it'd be cool to have a hip hop label.
Yeah. he's got a good vision though.
Yeah.
For him to see Johnny Cash and do that was pretty phenomenal.
Yeah. It's great. Just a bunch of popular songs. Just sing them and record them, and you don't have to do much more work, right?
Yep.
We have a couple more minutes here. So, is there anything you want to tell people that I didn't get the chance to ask you that you want? You want to get? I'll let people know.
That's a good question. We're still here, 13 years later,
13
rocking
years
and
going
rolling,
strong.
playing music.
Yeah.
So that's one thing about us. We don't stop.
So, where are you on Facebook? Do you have your Facebook page is Facebook/
Hollister Thompson Band.
Twitter is at Hollister Thompson. Then.
I don't know. Do we have a Twitter?
No.
It's Pete.
I never did a Twitter yet.
No Twitter.
Well, the show's
I've
not
been
going
meaning
live,
to.
so
I've been
you
meaning
have a
to
couple
do
days to
Twitter.
make one. No, I'm
Been
kidding.
meaning to do Twitter, haven't done it.
Yeah, Twitter. Yeah, that's a good idea.
But yeah.
But
Twitter's great. You can drop subtle hints about new material and stuff.
we
Yeah.
could tell you about the name of the band. A lot of people have either they like the name or they don't like the name. Like you were just
I just have difficulty pronouncing it.
Yeah. Well, actually, the
HTB
name.
for short.
The name came from 2 streets in the town of Stratford.
Okay. Is that where you guys are based out of?
That's where we sort of like started. It's a little,
It's a
little,
place
it was a
there
little
that
local bar down there.
we
it's
got
a
our
local
start
neighborhood
there.
bar,
Yeah.
and we would go there and play and stuff like that. So you know, it's on the corner of Hollister and Thompson.
So you guys, like the brewery, Two Roads Brewery, have decided to name your efforts after Two Roads in Stratford.
Yeah.
Like
As
the
the
like
crow
the
flies,
train that
you
went
could
from
walk to this
Buffalo
bar.
to Springfield.
Yeah.
Buffalo Springfield. That's the name of that band.
That's cool.
Yeah. A lot of people they don't know that, and so we really ever get a chance
Yeah.
to tell them
We
that.
went
It's a
through a
person's
lot
name.
of names
Yeah.
when we were trying to come
Yeah,
up with a name.
I think it's like
I
Leonard
don't even
Skinner.
know.
They're all
Lots and
taken.
lots of names.
Yeah.
And well, the closest we came, I think we decided pretty much on Yes Dear. And before we played the first gig, that the sitcom came out with that name.
Really?
And we said, well, there goes that, and we started over and just, you know,
We wanted
lots
something
and lots
different.
and lots of names. We wanted something that we wouldn't regret picking later.
Yeah.
And we'd be like, oh, you know, why'd we pick that? That was dumb, or we don't do that anymore, or anything like that. So I think it was Tex's idea.
Has
So
nothing to do with the
why
shirt
don't we just go with
company.
Nope.
Hollister
Yeah.
Thompson Band?
HTV.
Yeah,
Yep,
HTV
HTV.
for short. Yeah.
That's cool. It's very like it's very like prog rocky or some early '70s band name. It's pretty cool.
Mhm.
Yeah, the back of the first album there
Has the street signs.
has a shot of the street signs.
That's cool.
That's
That's
kind
really
of a
cool.
hint
Yeah.
to anybody that's interested. Yeah.
So do you guys play in Stratford much anymore? Is there much to play in Stratford anymore?
Yeah.
We still play at that
Yeah.
venue.
We
We
still
still go
play
back to
there.
that venue and play there. We're back
Couple
there in
times
I
a
think
year.
September or October.
October.
Yeah.
Couple times a year.
We played on the other part of Stratford, the Frog place.
All right, so we're wrapping up here. So thanks for coming on. People need to check you out on your Facebook, on your website, sign up for our new mailing list. So, all right, so thanks for coming on.
Thanks
you.
for having us.
Thank you.
We
Yeah,
appreciate it.
thank you. It's great.
All right, so go check Tyman on Tap out on Facebook, Tyman on Tap, hashtag Tyman on Tap, at Tyman on Tap Show. Follow these guys. Have fun with their website and their Facebook, and watch your music video. All right, thanks for watching. Thanks for coming on. You guys are great guests.
Thank
The
you.
time flew by. You guys were very quick, guys.